Well, we have made it to rainy, misty, murky, dull Scotland.
Just the usual.
Is that just the usual?
For this time of year, definitely. Yep.
We're middle of February. This is Gordon's, and the reason we are here is to lift the original Smyth triaxle we had, which you were running for a few demos. But first of all, tell us who you are and what your job is.
I'm Roger Docherty, and I'm the sales rep here at our Wigtonshire depot, along with Rob McHarry, who's also the sales rep here. Cover two areas.
Normally when we go out and see a dealership, you tend to migrate towards HQ, which for Gordon's is Castle Douglas.
Castle Douglas, yep.
But we're no in HQ.
No.
Is this your new?
This is our newest depot here, yep. This is, we've been in here, moved here a couple of years ago. So we were on a place just 500 yards up the road, and we're also another depot at Castle Kennedy that you would pass coming out of Stranraer. Two depots really weren't fit for modern purpose, so we built this big new place. So everybody's got plenty of them.
She's a great job. Like, I mean, we're standing in a shed, right? Just to put it into perspective, with two harvesters here, and I mean, this is proper detail here. Two combines in here, a tractor, a straw blower, a van, a Smyth trailer, a forklift, and a load of other stuff in the tractor, and there's still a world of room in here.
There is, yeah. We've had.
Like, that's putting it into perspective.
At some point, we've had 5 or 6 foragers in here, to 3 or 4 tractors. It's just unbelievable. If you see what we come out of before, we just got a forager undercover. We couldn't get into our main workshop.
Now, Gordon's is a big CLAAS dealer.
Yep.
What is do you know any of the quick history behind Gordon's and how they've got so big? I've
been here 13 years. The company's been on the go 150 plus.
Seriously?
I forget the exact number, and I should really know it. But
well, I think you're doing rightly when you're up at that length.
So it's been on the go in one form or another, not always in that name, but it's certainly been the same form of the company for that length of time. So we've been CLAAS. We've had other tractor franchises before my time, but since CLAAS started tractors, we've been full line CLAAS tractors always. We've been Valtra and various other makes before. Always sold the CLAAS foragers and harvesting equipment.
But that was a thing.
There was other dealers.
Because obviously CLAAS, with their acquisition of Remelt back in the day, that took them to full line. So then CLAAS dealers had to then all start and come in.
CLAAS is still relatively new in the world of tractors.
Where does your heart lie? Are you a green line man? Or are you
I think the foragers, I mean, they're harvesting specialists, the foragers and the combines and stuff like that, I think is our main part of the business. Foragers, and certainly keep the workshop boys busy.
This chopper over your shoulder here is in for a service. It's been sold. Is this the level you go to in most of them when they're getting a winter service?
Yeah, on a second-hand forager, it gets a thorough check by one. We've got 2 or 3 master technicians now.
So if I'm ringing you and buying a forager that's coming in that you're looking to move on at second or maybe third time, is this the sort of level of service?
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult because on a used machine, there's got to be an acceptable amount of wear with that sometimes. I mean, we will put a mechanic thoroughly over it and come back with a list. Consult with the customer some of the time, because some of the times might be acceptable to him.
I hadn't this area down as much of a combine area. I don't know why I had that in my head, but I just sort of thought when you come off the boat and you head it down sort of along that first bit of coast, there wouldn't have been a lot of... Maybe down by Dumfries and some of the other depots it has more.
There's a bit, we're mostly dairy, a mixture of beef and sheep as well. A big arable place around about here is probably, I don't know, 1,000, 1,200 acre. They guys will run their own combines, but there's not that many of them, to be fair, but that would be a fairly big place.
It was maybe a misconception I had, the reason that was sort of triggered was as we just arrived here yesterday. Connor was bringing the fast track over, leaving it, and the first thing we met was Sean Prentice horsing in with a combine.
Good timing.
It was brilliant timing. So we did a UE and come back and watched the master at work unloading.
He wasn't long. He'd done it before, hadn't he?
To be fair, and whilst everyone was looking at the combine, no lie, was fascinated with the brush house trailer. But that was a combine that you had actually, a second hand that you had brought in through another dealer for a customer. I was sitting there going, this is quite clever how that's all.
We do that. I mean, it came for Rickaby's. We get quite a few, because they get tidy East Coast combines in, and we get customers here that maybe can't justify a new one. So buy a tidy second-hand used one, and we have a very good relationship with Rickaby's. We got on well, and aye. Well, if they tell us it's a good machine, it is a good machine, so.
You have a great relationship with Sam Smyth, and I suppose ultimately that's how we're here. So we were working a bit with a very good customer of Gordon's.
Yep.
But based out of the Dumfries branch.
Yeah, aye, but Dumfries branch look after
Watson's,
Drew, yeah.
And we had the joke with them, we would bring the 3-axle over. We brought it over for him, and then we were chatting to
Jordan the day, aye.
And
yeah,
we sort of says, look, we'll leave the trailer. Go use it, because on around Sam Smyth, I said, sure, will we leave this trailer? Let them do a demo or two when it's this length. Because some of those GRASSMEN coloured trailers, and we're calling it GRASSMEN coloured trailers.
Is that the official line in the brochure? GRASSMEN.
GRASSMEN.
Colour.
Yous have sold a few.
Yep, we have.
And you did a few demos. So how did the demo of the 3-axle go?
Very well.
I think you got one or two away, didn't you?
Aye, there was 1 or 2 sold off the bucket doing that way. I've got a few up here. Tri-axles, I've got 6 or 7 at least. Half of them at least with posi front steer and rear. Because the contractor boys that have upgraded to them are mostly blue. They seem to prefer the blue, some with black wheels, some just with standard white or silver. The ability to put them in places where they never dreamt they would go is...
And you're seeing that coming through.
So they take a bit of convincing. There's no way that monster thing can go where my 16-foot, 18-foot trailer can go. Hook it on, away it goes. As labour's getting harder to find for these guys, on certain hauls they're doing away with another man, tractor and trailer. Yep.
Hog trailers as well.
Yeah, so hogs, something we started with low loaders and some cattle trailers that we've been doing as well. The low loaders was because Sam doesn't make low loaders basically. We did try them. It wasn't something he was going to do, so we had to look elsewhere. So we went to hog. Quite impressed with what we've seen there, and we took on them, and we've seemed to be doing fairly well. But
hog, Smyth, CLAAS, but there's a few other bits and pieces out there. I mean, I've seen Fleming, which is another great local company.
Yeah, we work away with Fleming stuff, bale handling stuff, and odd wee single axle tipping trailer. We're steady away with them. It's as good as stuff as anything else out there. It's very competitive, that type of bale grab type market, but we do well enough. We've got a long-standing relationship with them, which seems to work fairly well. We've got other things. We're also in the construction side, made in Devlon, dealers for north and west England and southwest Scotland, central belt. That's a huge part of our business.
People who don't know what that is.
Used to be Doosan. I'm still getting used to the new name.
But you still have the Doosan flag up, so you're all right.
They're
going to be ringing, the HQ will be ringing now saying, get that flag down.
I think it says Devlon outside, but that's developed into a huge. That was something we'd never done before. The opportunity came along to take on that franchise, and it's just created a monster. It's done very well.
Aye.
Which also helps. We're selling a lot of the hog stuff, particularly low loaders and Smyth dump trailers.
Cultivation side of things.
Lemken and Horsch, which would be unusual to 2 top brands probably, but we seem to make it work, and we see the Power Harrow combination drills very popular here. Yeah. That would do very well with the Lemken side, and probably disc-based Pronto.
3 metre, 4 metre, 5,
6. No, nothing. 4. 4. The contractor boys now, because the tractor in the front's bigger, so front hopper, 4 metre combination. Folding, yeah. Which is a heavy piece of kit, but the Lemken Power Harrow drill takes a bit of beating.
It does. Seed bed preparation out of Lemken's very, very, very good. But then, if you get into it, I'm not mentioning any other brands, they've more teeth in there.
Aye. It does. Again, it's
essentially.
They may all a Power Harrow combination drill may look the same, just different colours to the untrained eye, but there are bits that make certain things better than others, and the coulter bar setup as well. It's always difficult because you've got the horse version, but we seem to make it work.
Does the Lemken plough do well in this area?
Sold one recently, an iPlough actually. So we've had a few. It's difficult, if I'm perfectly honest, against the KV, because KV is probably what they've always had. The KV seems to be. We've looked
at different. Obviously, we're invited. We've looked at different ploughs. We've ploughed with different ploughs, and some of the technology going into some of the ploughs now.
Ever thought you need Isobus for a plough?
But you're sitting there going, but KV, just as you have to hand it to the brand.
I do, and I mean, it's one of those things that people have always had them, and it's difficult. But what the future brings with the plough, we don't know. There's in our part of the world, a lot of the time, the ploughing and Power Harrow drilling is the only way to get the crop in the ground. It would be nice just to run across it with a set of discs at 6, 8, 12 metres and it's planted, but unfortunately we're in the wrong part of the world really for that. So
you have a 5 fir just sitting out there. The only reason I was picking up on that, on a 650 CLAAS. You were just moving it last night, like, and I was saying to myself, that has to be a sturdy, strong plough.
It was actually
when you watch the tractor, because a CLAAS is 50-50 balance. That is one of the beauties about a CLAAS tractor.
It's sometimes overlooked because
you could put a pin right up the middle of a CLAAS and she'd balance perfect. And we had a 5-foot competitor's plough on a 650 CLAAS on a field out the back of our yard one time, and the whole concept was we were going to plough with the CLAAS and see how far across the hill it goes up and down, and the tractor took the 5-foot plough up and down it the whole way, and when he got up at the top and he left, he struggled to get turned because he was bobbling about. And that's people have always told me the grip on the CLAAS is phenomenal.
Tremendous. A sales tool for us is emphasising the 50-50 weight distribution, which is no there on some other brands, and it's easy to see. We'll put anything against equivalent size, put someone in the bucket and see what stands in its.
Quick questions, 3 quick questions. What's your favourite standalone CLAAS product?
Forager. You want the
size? Model. You're thinking, don't
850,
think.
but you'd have thought somebody would have went huge, but 850, pound for pound, there's no better way of putting silage in the pit. There you go. It's not the biggest, it's not the most glamorous. Pound for pound, there's no better way to put, or cheaper way to put silage in the pit.
That's 850, that's
there you
where
go.
It's at.
I wouldn't say 990, but I'd thought about that, so 850 probably.
Favourite non-franchisee product?
That's a difficult one. I'm trying to think, there's that many.
What do you like to see work?
Smyth trailer. There you go.
Smyth trailer. There's Sam, yeah.
There you go, Sam.
That wee brown envelope that lorry man brought us. That wee brown envelope the lorry man brought this morning was a good job.
That's very, for a modern man, it's not a box transfer. Sam's got my details.
You like the Smyth, yeah?
I would do. Again, it's value for money. There's no better way.
And when you're not working, what do you like to do? What's your hobby? PG now, PG. GRASSMEN's PG.
I suppose that when I'm not working, I'm actually a welder to trade, believe it or not, so I still tinker a wee bit with the welder in the shed. And it's a bit of that. It's time with the family.
Do you know how to strike an arc, as they say?
Just about it. Well, it's debatable, but just about, yeah.
Very good.
So,
thank you very much.
Very interesting, I'm afraid.
And we will probably pack up now and head towards the boat. Thanks
no
for the insight.
Good to see us.
Hopefully we can do a bit more. I'd like to do a wee bit more.
On a clearer day, you might get outside.
I will. Wait. But it's very interesting what all goes on. Like as I say, there's a lot of stuff in here.
There's a bit of everything. Second-hand service, used tractor getting ready to get out, used forager getting ready to get out, forager in for service.
And a lorry in to load a combine.
A lorry in to load a combine to go to Poland, which we'll see how he understands Galloway Irish just shortly.
Lovely
Not
job.
very well, probably.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hey,
no problem.
Cheers,
Thanks.
bud. Thank
Cheers.
you.